Hey everyone, it's Amanda with My Life, My Way, and I just wanted to give you guys a quick fertility update. So we started Prometrium to induce a cycle because I didn't ovulate last month. Not really a big surprise, I didn't think I'd ovulated anyways. So they gave me Prometrium, which is basically the same, it's just progesterone. So progesterone is the hormone that gives you PMS, basically. It's your post-ovulation hormone until your period. So what happens naturally is your body would ovulate, and then you'd output progesterone in order to try and keep a baby around. And then once it realizes that there is no baby, then the progesterone drops off, and that's when you have a period that starts. So when they gave me fake progesterone, basically what it did is made my body think that it had ovulated. It was waiting to see if it was pregnant, and then 12 days after starting to take it, I came off the medication with the drop in the hormone. My body thinks, okay, well, we didn't get pregnant this month. It's time for a period. It was awful, I think is the best way to put that. I was on it for 12 days. It's basically the worst case of PMS I've had in my entire lifetime. I was sad. I cried every once in a while uncontrollably at weird moments. My poor husband, he about as amazing as you could possibly be throughout this. In retrospect, some days I wasn't really as happy as I should have been, but looking back on it, most of it was just stupid anger anyways. So, the poor guy, he cracked a joke while I was on my way home from work one day while we were on the phone together, and I burst into tears. Hard enough I had to pull the car over into a parking lot and just let it go. And he's like, what's going on? I was just being funny. I'm like, no, I don't know. I'm still laughing and crying my eyes out at the same time. This poor guy. So anyways, so we got through it. It was 12 days. As soon as I came off the medications, I started feeling almost instantly better. Thankfully, I didn't have any issues with like patience or anything. I was able to kind of just put it in a small box and just totally ignore it while I was at work, and then I'd go home and then cry on the phone to my poor husband. But at least that was good. And then once the cycle started, then we started on letrozole or Femara this month because I have PCOS. It's sort of the new up-and-coming medication for PCOS patients rather than going to Clomid. So basically what it does is it makes my body produce eggs in order to actually ovulate. So that's kind of the hope this month. We're only on like 2.5 milligrams, so it's their sort of starter dose with it. You take it from cycle days 3 to 5. I've heard everything up to 3 to 7 is when I took it, but I've heard everything from 3 to 7 or 4 to 8 or 5 to 9 even in some women. Kind of just depends on your doctor's preference and how your cycle works and stuff like that, I think is how they kind of make that judgment. But we were on it from cycles day 3 to 7. So I'm done that now. We're on cycle day 9 today. We went back and saw our fertility specialist 2 days ago, so cycle day 7. And she kind of wants to watch and see if we're progressing and actually making an egg this month. So I go in for an ultrasound tomorrow, which should be kind of interesting. And then I think I go back on day 13 as well. So 3 days after that, I'll go in for another ultrasound and they'll kind of see how the egg is progressing and things like that. And if we're actually going to ovulate this month, which is kind of a good start. If we don't get pregnant this month, then her plan next month is to go up, well, induce a period again, because if I don't ovulate, then there's no natural period. So we'll induce another period. Lord help me, I'm going to have to take some days off of work, because I don't know if I can do that twice. And then we're going to put me on letrozole, but we're going to do 5 milligrams, followed by injectable medications to further induce the ovulation, and then very possibly a trigger shot, which is just a simple injection that forces the body to ovulate the egg that's there. So we'll kind of see how that goes. It's much more monitored. There's more of a concern with the injectables about there being multiples. There isn't multiples in my family, but all kinds of fertility medications usually bump you up anywhere from 5 to 15, almost 20% for multiples. So that's always a concern. Multiple pregnancies are always more dangerous, especially if like I'm hitting up 32, so I'm not exactly like young trying this out. So we'll see, but I'll keep you guys updated. We'll keep you posted. If you want to give me comments on anything you'd like to see coming up, let me know how your Prometrium, which is the progesterone drug, dosages went, and let me know if I'm, according to the group that I'm on, I'm not the only one that suffers from things like that, so hopefully if you're taking it, you also realize that you are not alone. If you wouldn't mind commenting with any kind of personal experience you had with Femara as well, or letrozole, whether you got your BFPs finally, or your big fat positives, or if you had to move kind of further on from that, I wouldn't mind having a little bit of hope at this point, which would be kind of fabulous. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.